Okay, now we're real excited about this. Okay, I'm going to give a brief little history here. It's interesting. Everybody's heard of WorldPay. We all know who they are, and you know that we've always been friendly competitors. Well, SecureNet was one of our processors for a while. I don't know. I have a couple of accounts on SecureNet. We brought SecureNet on a while back because they do some stuff that some of our other processors won't take. Well, WorldPay acquired SecureNet, so we had an agreement, and all of a sudden, Raymond and some other people on the board started having some deeper conversations about it. WorldPay contacted us. What do you want to do about this contract? Well, maybe we can start a relationship here. And as we kept this dialogue going with WorldPay, we started really liking what we were hearing, and the industry started talking, and I saw how WorldPay was evolving into more of a open to an ISO type relationship. And so we sat down and had some one-on-one discussions, and we really liked what we saw here. And the thing with CoCard is about optionality. It's given members the opportunity, and what you'll find with what I found over the years, dealing with an exclusive relationship when we first started back in 2000, to opening up the door to these other, I didn't know what a platform was and what these platforms do, and some platforms can do this and some can do that. And so then I say, well, there's some integrations here. So we go, we need more options. So that's what CoCard's all about. And I think we are enhancing this opportunity now for every member. If you look at what we have to bring on somebody like WorldPay, we want to announce we do have a deal, and I'm very excited about this group. You know, Rafael DiCarlo, right? Sounds like an Italian race car driver. I love it. He's here, and he's going to present, and that's how to start the relationship. I don't want to steal your show here, but this is their first meeting with CoCard, so we're very excited about our new processing partner, WorldPay. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I want to thank CoCard, Dan, and Ray for working for you. It's been a real joy. I know it's we've been through a process here, starting with the SecureNet platform, and as we integrate that into our back end for our back end settlement system and our back end processing engine. We had the opportunity to talk about other things that we do and other markets that we're in. And so we're here today. Again, so thank you to the board, and thank you for CoCard. We're happy to be part of one of your providers. With me I have Tracy Hyde. He's a sales engineer. He works with a lot of our integrated applications and help us with some of the product discussion. And then also Joe Fricky. Joe Fricky manages all the account managers that each of our ISOs have a dedicated account manager they call into. They call into his team, and so it's one of the highlights of the benefits that we provide to our ISOs as far as a really good ISO support. We're going to start on the next page, please. And this is our agenda title. You take a look at that. You can go to the next page, please. This is some of the products we'll be talking about, and we'll start here. So. The WorldPay journey. So WorldPay basically started in 1989 with Streamline, and then RBS and NatWest merged, and that created RBS. And RBS has always had a history of mergers, acquisitions, buying technology. And prior to that, most of you probably remember Link Systems. Some of you here used to be our agent sales office of Link Systems back in the late 90s. I started WorldPay in 2000. And so it's been a long journey, but it's been a fun ride. So Link Systems was founded, and then Link Systems sold to Royal Bank of Scotland. Royal Bank of Scotland was buying everything at that point in time, including train cars, insurance companies, commodities companies, and then the banking crisis hit. And it happened that all the bets that RBS had made, the worst bet they made was to leverage basically all the equity they had on buying a Netherlands-based bank at the absolute wrong time. Their liquidity dried up literally overnight. And that put them into a disarray. They tried to keep all of their companies, but the EU said in order to keep your banking license, because you have so much businesses, insurance, which was insuring derivatives, and all these things are interrelated, they made it the best of everything except for core banking. So that created an opportunity for the venture capitalists, Bain Capital and Advent, to come in and buy WorldPay, or actually RBS at that time, for about $2 billion. They invested $1 billion into RBS, getting rid of the RBS name to WorldPay. Basically, we have three platforms. We have what we call the new acquiring platform in the UK, which is state of the art. There's nothing like it out there, and that's where all our international business goes to. We have an e-com platform in the base of the UK also. Then we have the WorldPay. They call it the Link platform. So it's still the Link Systems platform based in Atlanta and Philadelphia, where the two processing centers are. So they invested about $2 billion, invested $1 billion, made about $4.9 billion through the process, as in the public again back in 15. And it's kind of funny because Vantiv, in fact, you look at Advent was one of the purchasers of RBS WorldPay. Vantiv also back in 2009 bought 51%, a fifth third to create Vantiv, right? So Advent and Bain always work together. And it seems like they had an end game in mind. Now they're putting Vantiv and WorldPay together. And Advent had recently divested of all their interest in, Advent had divested of all their interest in Vantiv a couple of years ago. So here we are, Vantiv's going to purchase WorldPay, and we expect to be able to close in Q1. And there's a lot of reasons behind that. Vantiv was not able to grow internationally. They already have a large market share in the U.S., and they're looking at how can they grow this market share globally to keep their business growing. WorldPay, we're a worldwide leader, one of the largest, if not the largest, depending how you measure it, e-commerce provider in the world. That's a 20% growth rate. That's growing very fast. So how do we get a bigger foothold in the U.S. to take those large merchants and convert them over to e-com space? So that was the genesis of why this merger is going to happen. Can we go to the next page, please? So we expect to integrate a large payment company. We're not exactly sure how it's all going to flush out, but we do know the WorldPay name will survive. The new company will be called WorldPay. And we think that there's going to be some synergies here. There's going to be some staff reductions in the U.S., but one thing that may be happening is we maybe have a combination of using the Vantiv platform and the WorldPay platform, depending on product specific. We're really not sure how that's going to roll out. But if history is any precursor to the future, Vantiv has always bought in the Balmaneras, they bought some other companies, they let them run alone, probably for at least 18 months. So we'll probably see that, and then we'll see some merger or be product specific, which platform it goes to. So we'll look a little bit like First Data that way in terms of platform and product specific as we get into this, and we won't really know the details until later next year. Next page, please. All right, so let me take a second and talk about, this is really our, what Mark was saying, feature advantage benefit page. This is what we call, this is our advantages that we offer to our ISOs that we think are a little bit specific to what we can offer that differentiates a little bit. We have great ISO support led by Joel's team. We have some ISOs here that work with us, will vouch that we really do a good job of taking care of our ISOs. His team is entrusted, they can fix problems, they can escalate things, they can get the right people online, they can really take care of issues quickly. And we think there's a lot of value. When you have a merchant screaming at you trying to fix something, there's a lot of value in being able to fix that problem as quickly as possible. We have a US-based customer service. It's based in Atlanta, basically, and our customer service team is incented via what we call a Net Promoter Score. Some of you may have heard of that, the NPS. 15% of their pay is based on how well they handle that merchant. We get high remarks for the level of customer support we provide for your merchants, and typically they answer the call in 30 to 45 seconds. You're not standing on, so it's a very high level customer service, responsive, and they provide a very friendly level of service. We offer good agent reporting, so everybody out here is a sales agent. We get a sales agent ID, and we'll track that through the system, be able to report that to corporate. So then we'll be able to corporate will be able then to run that through their CRM system and pay out quarterly. We have a large selection of integrated point of sale solutions. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Oracle payment interface, the new micros. We've kicked off the program to start interfacing to that, which will be a big benefit. We think we'll be one of the first processors to interface to the OPI. We have a family of PX520s, EMV with QuickPay or QuickChip that we rolled out. We have a retail solution, a restaurant solution with Tip Adjust, and a petroleum solution with all the petroleum cards, which you're able to sell. We're in beta right now in the petroleum pack right now. We have a full array of petroleum solutions that you sell, all the major pumps. Obviously, we've got a reprieve for EMV certification to October 2020, but there are still solutions you'll be able to talk about and sell as you have those relationships with the different merchants. We have a full array of grocery store solutions, IBM ScanMaster, etc. But so there are solutions that you're able to sell as well, and a lot of those solutions that have eWIC on them. I know that's important in certain states, more important than others, but a full array, fully dedicated team to making sure that the petroleum and grocery store solutions are up to date and competitive. We have committed investment for new products. We're committing 10 to 15% of our net profit in the U.S. for new products. We realize we haven't been rolling out new products as fast as we needed to in the last several years. That's changing. You'll see some of that in a few minutes. WorldPay Total Gateway, that is the old SecureNet gateway. WorldPay Total is a SecureNet gateway. We have so the SecureNet virtual terminal is now the Total WorldPay Total virtual terminal, same product, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. DocuSign, we support DocuSign with a lot of our customers use DocuSign, so they don't have to send us any paperwork, everything's scanned and submitted to our online application. Next day funding, APM Eastern Time for all your merchants. It's really kind of automatic. And we have a strong relationship with NCR. We're one of us and First Data are the primary processors. What does that mean? Get all the new releases first, all the new certifications done first, EMV. So our answers can sell NCR Silver, NCR Ring Up, and other NCR products that are available. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Tracy and Joel and let them talk about some of the product specifics.
Hello, everybody. I'm Joel. No, that's Tracy. As Raphael mentioned, I'm a relationship manager. We have a team of 6 in Atlanta that Stephanie Wood will have assigned account management, but we as a team will support all of CoCard. So you'll have a responsible individual for relationship management, but that team will support that individual out of office, all the normal stuff that comes with account management. However, Tracy and I are going to go through a couple product solutions, both terminal-based and gateway-based. Tracy's going to cover most of the gateway items. To start with, VX520 and VX805 EMV solution. While the application's been out for quite some time for EMV, we've had a new release that came out in mid-September that enhanced PIN bypass and quick chip technology. In the past application, PIN bypass, there were a few debit networks that did not allow true PIN bypass. Now the customer with all debit networks has the ability to either enter their PIN or press enter to bypass and run as a credit transaction. And then quick chip technology, while there's many solutions out there that are still running between 10 and 15 seconds for a chip card transaction, the 520 application is 6 seconds or less. In addition, the petroleum application that Raphael was alluding to is coming out November 1st, and that's our EMV-capable VX520 petroleum application. Next slide, please. The WorldPay virtual terminal. The virtual terminal is pretty unique in that it can be used for a very simple merchant setup or a more sophisticated merchant setup. Simple customer just wants to use their computer, run a credit card transaction, and that's it. They still have access to the full reporting suite that's within the virtual terminal, but don't need any other functionality. It's a perfect setup for a simple merchant. For a little bit more sophisticated merchant, they can use it for recurring payments, such as a gym membership. That also covers ACH payments within recurring payments. I'm sorry, go back one, thanks. An even more sophisticated merchant, they can implement a hosted payment page, allowing them to integrate a payments platform into their e-commerce business. A couple of things from a functionality standpoint that have been very popular since the rollout of the new virtual terminal. Electronic invoice, which is maybe somewhat standard with some of the online virtual terminals today. And then a big one for us is custom fields. Customers are using it to build customer IDs unique to their business, and then can also report on that through the reporting module. Next slide, please. NCR Silver. During the introductions yesterday, there were several individuals that mentioned that they have access to, or that are resellers for NCR Silver or have background with NCR Silver. You can utilize your same process today and still utilize the board on WorldPay. Simply boarding the merchant will send setup information, and you can still run it through your process and implementation. For those of you that aren't too familiar with NCR Silver, WorldPay acts as a reseller for NCR Silver, and we work directly with NCR Silver for Silver and Silver Pro, as well as Ring Up that Robbie mentioned right in the last part of his presentation. If you're not familiar with it, it's a true tablet point of sale, supporting both iOS and Android applications. And while it has very good functionality and very good reporting, there's a couple things in our channel that NCR has kind of catered to us that have been very positive. One is the concierge service. They'll get ahead of menu population for the merchant while you're going through the boarding and implementation process. So the speed of getting that merchant to process it. And another big one within their customer service team, we can lean on them to help for a customer service person to help you on a sales call. They'll get on the line with you, do a demo for you and your merchant, and walk through and act as a sales advocate for you. Next slide, please. Along with Silver and Silver Pro, NCR Ring Up, this will be on in about 2 weeks, catered to micro and small business merchants. Very simple application, also supports the iOS and Android applications, EMV capable like using the Bluetooth Mobi reader. Next slide. It's as easy as this. Load the application, plug in the Bluetooth, attach the Bluetooth reader, and process. Very simple setup. Next slide, please. ISO portal. We're in the process of developing a true one-stop login ISO partner portal. Today we have two portals, a sales portal, which allows you access to the online application to board a deal and monitor that deal all the way through approval, all the way through shipping to get a tracking number if there's equipment that we're shipping out on your behalf. There's product and marketing slips in the sales portal, residual items. And then the second portal is the merchant portal. All exactly what you're thinking, merchant level detail, transactions, monthly statements. There's a chargeback manager within the portal. Merchants can go on and use the chargeback manager, upload their documents without ever speaking to an agent of the help desk, and work directly with the chargeback department and monitor and manage their chargebacks. We want to wrap this all into one, so it's a dashboard approach and let you drill into all of the reports that you need, both from a sales and a merchant perspective. All right, we're going to get into some gateway items. Tracy?
Thanks, Phil. Good morning. Again, my name is Tracy High, and I work with the product integrations team at WorldPay as a solution consultant. Essentially, what our role from a product integration perspective is we work with numerous ISVs and integrators that are looking to certify to the platform. So again, whether that's through a gateway, WorldPay Total, any of our third-party gateways, or directly one of our host message specs, we are the sort of the front lines. My team is the front lines in terms of vetting out their solution and providing a recommendation. Before I jump into discussions around the WorldPay Total Gateway and sort of what we have to offer from an integration perspective, I do want to talk a little bit about WorldPay Spark. I'm sure most of you are aware that some of the challenges that are facing the market as it relates to micro merchants with the ever-changing digital marketing landscape. So what we've designed is a tool that's going to be coming out here shortly. I sat in on a webinar last week with our product strategy team, and they gave us a demo of the solution. But essentially, this is designed for a small to medium-sized merchant that needs tools for analytics, basically to help them with their competitive landscape, digital marketing tools, transaction management, all this mass marketing, et cetera. All this data is housed under one portal. I can use the example of, sometimes merchants may use like Constant Contact, or they need social media presence. So this tool is designed to have a single interface for the merchant to maintain their analytics, help them make better decisions around, how I grow my business. I got a customer down the street, got a competitor down the street that's advertising a promotion. How do I have insights into what are my customers doing, what are their choices, et cetera. So this tool is designed again to differentiate the merchant from their competition, help them make informed decisions around analytics behind that. Also, transaction management is included in that. Again, from a merchant perspective, sometimes they're challenged, especially a small, medium-sized merchant, is challenged with how do I grow my business, how to retain customers. I don't have the necessary tools and resources at my fingertips. Automation as well may be a challenge. So WorldPay Spark is going to be coming out soon. Again, it is tied to, there is an interface to the various social media endpoints such as Twitter, Facebook, etc. So we think this is going to be an exciting tool for our small and medium-sized merchants. Yes?
Is the iMobile 3 piece you're talking about their WorldPay product?
I'm sorry, say it again?
Is the iMobile 3 piece that you're talking about the WorldPay?
Yes, this great point. So we did partner with iMobile 3 to design the solution. We white labeled it as our WorldPay Spark. Again, it is leveraging the iMobile 3 platform.
What's it called, Wobble?
Wabo.
What's it called, Gilbert? Wobble? Is that, so you basically white label Wobble?
I don't think it's Wabo, but we leverage some of the tools they're using from a business analytics perspective. Next slide, please. So this is just a picture of the dashboard. So you can see here, you have tools and the interface. This is just the dashboard again. It has the merchant account, has tools around customer engagement, as well as some of the value-added services. And again, I do want to harp on that there is an interface to help you tie into social media as well. Next slide. All right, WorldPay Total Gateway. So, as Raphael alluded to, we acquired SecureNet back in 2015, and so this WorldPay Total Gateway is the SecureNet platform. A couple things here to note about the gateway. It is designed on a RESTful API. Any of you that have worked with developers know that they prefer a REST API because of ease of use, ease of integration, etc. So there's a couple different components within the gateway from a developer perspective. Again, there is a card-present middleware that is supported for Windows. So whether you have a Windows POS, an iOS system, or Android, we do have middleware SDK for that particular integration for card-present. It does include point-to-point encryption. For Windows, the supported device is the VX805, and for iOS and Android, the hardware would be the Mirror M10. Also included with some of the value-added services with the gateway, we do have account updater functionality. So, let me take a step back. So just think of it from a card vaulting perspective for e-com. So recurring transactions. Within the gateway, you can vault a card, and through our account updater service, any card that is expired, we go out and automatically update the card. So that feature is present as well. Joel already talked about the virtual terminal component. In addition, we have our hosted payment page. What we see today, a lot of businesses have a need for either shopping cart integration or some type of hosted payment page solution where a consumer can go and just check out, ease of use. So within the gateway, we do offer a hosted payment page that is currently going to beta over the next couple of weeks. But we're really excited about the hosted payment page solution. Also, as you're aware, SecureNet is very known for their e-commerce solutions. So within that, we've added a few services to the e-commerce module, which includes the digital wallet, Visa checkout. I'll segue to some of the upcoming features and functionality. Over the last couple of days, I've heard from several of you with regards to, I know there's a need for EBT and EWIC. I think I had a conversation with Wayne and I think it was Wayne and Dave the other night. They were talking about EBT and EWIC. Also, we're going to move to a cloud version of the, we call it the integrated payments client or our middleware. We're going to migrate to that in 2018. Also, we have on the roadmap is a integration or support for the Ingenico Telium 2 line. I know you'd be happy about that. So that's forthcoming as well. Apple Pay. This is a big one for us as well. We're going to offer Apple Pay in-app. We see it a lot in the market, and I use the example, people ask me sometimes, what is in-app? So think of the Groupon experience. For any of you that shop on Groupon, when you check out through your phone, you have the ability to pay via Apple Pay. So we're going to offer Apple Pay through e-com and what we call in-app on your smartphone. That'll be available through WorldPay Total as well. And shopping cart integration is on the roadmap. That's going to be Q1, Q2 initiative, as well as the other hot item that people are approaching me about as well is split settlement and convenience fees. We have heard you. We've heard our other customers. It is forthcoming probably sometime, and I would say Q2 of 2018 should have the ability to support split settlement and convenience fees. Next slide. All right, last thing I want to discuss is third-party solutions. We have a number of integrations that are either completed or close to wrapping up for some third-party solutions. I'll start with the first one here, which is IGAN, and they have a PCI P2PE validated solution that supports micros as well as the Oracle, the OPI, Oracle Payment Interface. You can see some of the supported devices there, which is the VX85, the 820, the 675, and the 690 pin pads. This is a huge one for us as well because, again, we get a lot of inquiries about supporting micros. So this is another solution that is currently in beta with several merchant locations right now. Deja Vu, this certification is close to being complete. Deja Vu has they have a semi-integrated solution. They've also certified with us for a pay at the table solution, which will be the Z9 is going to be our pay at the table offering, which is a wireless device, Bluetooth, 3G. So again, a couple different ways you can interface with Deja Vu through their semi-integrated, they call it SPIN, but it's all cloud-based and it is EMV certified in flux right now. PAX, to my friend Marty back there, this certification should be done here sometime probably in December, and we will support the PAX S300 as well as the D210. Again, another semi-integrated solution. Merchant First Prison Pay. If you've come across any ISVs that need I call it a cloud-based, say for example their operating system is agnostic, it's all cloud-driven. This is a solution that we can offer them. It's a cloud-based semi-integrated. It will support the Exadime terminal as well as a PAX device. And that one is actually it's in beta right now. The last one I want to mention is DataCap. Again, we come across a number of retail restaurants that are leveraging or need DataCap. We do have an existing instance of DataCap. They certified through us now, but they're coming back to recertify to support point-to-point encryption, tip adjust, tokenization, and e-web. So we hope to have that recertification, have that completed sometime in early Q1. And that does cover the DataCap Net e-pay module along with TransCloud. Last thing I want to mention on DataCap, the supported device is the VX805. So I know that was a mouthful, but does anyone have any questions as it relates to either WorldPay Total Gateway, any of our products from an integration perspective?
Are you integrated with Ingenico and Exodine too?
Oh, and Exodine? All right, so the question from Ray was, are we integrated to Ingenico and Exodine? We currently are in discussions with Exodine. I know we have several partners that are using Exodine terminals, in particular Credit Call. They're recertified now to support the Exodine G3, and I spoke earlier with the Exodine rep. I think we're going to try to get them in the queue to certify some of their other devices. As it relates to Ingenico, yes, that Ingenico is forthcoming in terms of we have several projects on the horizon with Ingenico as it relates to point-to-point encryption. So with Ingenico, I would say sometime in 2018, we should support the Ingenico line of terminals. Yes.
No, because you mentioned micros, so you guys can work with micros and EMV?
Yes, the solution that I mentioned for micros, it is an EMV certified solution that supports micros as well as the Oracle Payment interface. Yes.
Dan mentioned prior to your presentation that originally when SecureNet was on its own, you underwrite purchase, you normally couldn't get approved with other processes. Do you still have that availability of expanded underwriting?
I'm probably going to defer to Raphael on that, but my understanding through SecureNet, it leverages, as far as the boarding, is through Citizens, not the Wells Fargo platform.
Yes.
I think that's discontinued.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. I'm sorry, yeah, so let me touch on that. So SecureNet used Wells Fargo as their sponsor bank, and they had a Planet 360 was their back-end settlement system. So as we've absorbed them, Citizens Bank is our sponsor bank, and so our underwriting is we feel like it's a little bit more inclusive than what Wells Fargo does. Obviously, some processors are more specific to that, but we're not a high risk shop, but we have been told we do some things from underwriting perspective, more than Wells Fargo does.
And I think what I meant by that was with SecureNet, you mentioned they had an e-commerce. There was stuff that First Data and Transfer didn't want to, it was like a brand new startup e-commerce gaming site with some integration. SecureNet was more of a technology gateway. So they would work with the kind of merge APIs, gateways. So this is stuff that transfers didn't want to touch. They really weren't high risk. Well, that may be risky to a lot of people, but it's not like we were doing restricted stuff, sending it to, we do have some high risk processors maybe that we can go to. That I think, so I didn't want to confuse people when I said high risk.
Back to a follow-up to the gentleman who was talking about the micros and the eigen. What specifically or generally, is it you have to use the eigen platform to go into the microsystem to use the EMV, or what is the process on that?
Yeah, so great question in terms of eigen. So they support the all the various flavors of micros. So whether it be the Res 3700, the Symphony, they support all of them. They've partnered directly with Oracle now to support that interface. They're probably one of the only partners or vendors out there that support that interface. So again, they're certified to us. So what that means is if you have a restaurant that uses micros, they don't have to certify with us. Essentially, all they're going to do is ride the rails, the eigen rails. We just set them up with the product code, and then they can go and process through the eigen gateway.
So we go through you
Yes.
to get the eigen
Yes.
to be able to get the account and do EMV.
Yeah. So, but it's again, it eliminates the need for a merchant having to certified directly with us, because now you just go through the gateway, the IGA gateway, and process those transactions. Yes?
On this slide, it says no PCI program. Can you explain a little bit more what is no PCI program?
Yeah, I think that was Ring Up is supporting is it the Mobi 3000, the Ingenico card reader? I don't know.
Well, I think,
You can pull the
that
slide.
WorldPay did not have a PCI requirement.
Yeah, so you're right. So on our ISO program, we're the only large processor. We don't require you to sell a PCI program, PCI monthly fees to your merchants. We are rolling out a PCI program that you can upsell if you want to. That's coming out next month, but it's not a requirement. I think especially in this day of age where everything's being encrypted now, it's that data, it's all encrypted and tokenized. So the big processors have gotten addicted to these PCI fees because they're very profitable. And so that's, we look at it a little differently. So that's an opportunity for you to talk to merchants about.
Great point about PCI. A couple things I want to note about PCI. So any of your partners, whether it be an integrator or ISP, that are looking to reduce their PCI scope, they want to use middleware. Whether that's the WorldPay Total middleware, any of our third-party gateways, middleware solutions. Talk about micros, their solution is one of a handful of solutions that is PCI validated PPE. Any questions as it relates to gateways, any of our products? Yes.
Yes, one more question. When it comes to like with FD terminals, as soon as you insert it, this is retail, right? A person comes in with a debit card, as soon as you insert the chip, it prompts automatically for PIN. And then the person can opt out. So now with you guys, the same thing, that it prompts automatically for PIN, and then it can opt out to credit.
Someone fall back?
You're talking about the VX520?
Yeah, exactly, yes.
PIN bypass?
Yep. Yeah, you're correct. So they'll have an option.
They don't have to, because right now, for example, the VX520, it'll say debit and credit, and then the merchant has to say pay debit. But I'm saying that as soon as you insert it with first data terminals, it prompts automatically for PIN. And then the person can say, you know what, I don't want to PIN that because cancel it goes credit.
Correct. Yeah, they'll have the two options: enter PIN or press enter to bypass.
Okay, so it doesn't prompt automatically; it just prompts debit or credit.
Yeah, I think that's the initial debit credit. Is Mike shaking his head no? It's on the swipe.
It reads the AID on the card. If it finds the U.S. common AID, it prompts PIN. It then gives you the option to bypass PIN and run as credit.
Okay.
It's always going to prompt for PIN if it finds the debit AID on the card.
Perfect. Yeah. Excellent. All right. Thank you.
Right.
I guess on the question, after I'm getting text, someone wants to know, can people write Canadian accounts in the WorldPay?
All right, so a couple of points on that. So first of all, we're about 30 days away from registration for bringing on accounts with us. We don't have a place, a bank to work with from a license perspective in Canada. Of course, Vanta does own Moneras, so that will change. So that will change through the merger. And I know that WorldPay is looking at getting into Interact through a couple intermediaries into Canada. So there's more to that to come, but we will have an option there probably a year from now.
So let's walk these folks through the path here. So we have an agreement. We're not ready to launch yet because we still have some things to tweak out. The members here and the owners will get the Schedule A and everything else here in the next week or so. Then I would say a training session. They're going to offer some webinars for our members and your staff on how to board, things like that. Are you going to be our Joe? And I hear really good things about Joe. People here who work with Joe say, hey, we got Joe. We're in good hands. We're in good hands. So, and it'll be interesting on how this whole Vanta thing comes together. You know, we have an agreement with Vanta that's somewhat dormant, which is why you don't see. It was started with MPC, and then they bought MPC, and then CoCard couldn't really get the collaborative bargaining we're used to. So we just sort of, they're there. I think it would be nice if, I think we've got what we need with you guys, that we can take advantage of maybe some of those managed platforms down the road and that kind of work. So I think it's a good thing. We get to piggyback off of our agreement with you to dive into some of those products. So that's going to be exciting for us. And so we'll keep everyone posted. Raymond?
I got another question.
Yeah.
Do you foresee WorldPay offering the Amex differential pricing where you get to charge Amex different than what you know?
Yeah.
Basically, the question is, with First Data right now, we don't have new pieces yet. We've been on our, but we like to maybe price interchange in 20 basis points on Visa, Master, or Discover, but we're going to go interchange in 25 basis points or 15 basis points on American Express. Is that possible? Do you know?
It's not possible right now.
Okay, not right now. Okay.
I don't know, Mike, if there's any dates on it, but they're flexible pricing program.
To be able to write American Express
Yeah, for American Express, yeah.
So we have out blue, but can you put, like, if I do interchange in 20 basis points, can I do out blue at 15 and Visa, Master, Discover at 20 basis points?
Yes, you'll be able to price different.
So you can
Cannot do it right now.
Price American Express differently than Visa, Mastercard.
You can.
Yeah, we'll be able to.
Oh, we will be able.
So right now, when we rolled out Blue, we rolled it out quickly to take advantage of our back book, but now we're doing it properly. And
Okay.
we'll have differential pricing as of.
That's right.
Well, that might get pieces off of it.
That would be probably about.
Okay. Did I say that out loud? Okay. Well, we're really looking forward to this partnership. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.